Hello, hello. I'm printing something out so I can show y'all. I'm so excited. Okay. I said a piece of popcorn right before I got on here. Why did I do that? I don't know. I'm going to have a drink to wash it down. But I'm so excited. Okay. So I want to show y'all. This happens to all of us. And it's horrible. And Kathy was so gracious to show us her work and say, help, what do I do? So I just thought, let me just show you what I would do if this were me. 1 second. Now, the first thing I'm going to show does use an iPad. So if you don't have an iPad, you need to get a good friend that has an iPad. But I am going to show you how to correct this on the iPad first. And then I'll show you my tips for how to correct this or, adjust it on paper. The reason I want to show you the iPad is because I can do it in 2 seconds where the other is going to take longer. But I want to show you. It's still printing. Hold on 1 second. Okay, well, I'm waiting for it to print out. By the way, hey, welcome. This is Christy's Lettering Tribe. I'm doing a little pop-up session today. It wasn't scheduled on Hello Kiwi on how to fix a spelling mistake. Okay, so this is Kathy's work. Kathy so graciously posted it. I have worked some magic on it. And Kathy, I want to give this to you. I want to give you a copy of this so you can use it, especially if you don't have the iPad. But I made little scripture cards out of her artwork after I fixed it. And so I want to show you, or I think I fixed it. You tell me. You tell me. Okay. So look at these cards. See heaven? Did I spell it right? I probably did the wrong letter. No. All right. Look, can you even tell? Can you even tell it was misspelled? That's why I want to show y'all the iPad real quick. I mean, it's so good. It's so good, isn't it? Kathy, did I put the wrong Kathy? Did I put a K? I mean, you're not a K? I'm so sorry. Unless there's two Kathys. I apologize. All right. I'm cutting these because I want to show you this one too. Here's another solution. And I will show you this on with paper too. Can't even tell it was misspelled now. So a lot of times what I'll do is I'll cover up some of the words so it looks like it's supposed to be blocked out. Okay. All right. So is that Kathy Nash? The C Kathy, and I put K on here. Sorry. Tell me if that's you. Okay. So y'all, again, Kathy posted this and I honestly read through it. And first of all, let me just say how gorgeous it is and how proud I am of y'all for doing artwork with scripture. It just makes me so excited. It's so beautiful. And then you do all of this and then you're showing your friend and your friend says, uh-oh, you misspelled something. And it's humiliating. It's like, oh my gosh, I worked so hard on that, and you just got it the way perfect. I know the feeling. If you know the feeling, tell me in the comments. It is awful. You read it 3 times before seeing it. Yes. I read it several times before I saw it. So when I saw it, I was like, okay, my first thought is if I could take that N away and make this A into an N, that's what I would do. Okay. Does that make sense? So that was the first thing I thought of. And then my second thought was to black this out, make a black rectangle. Okay. And then write on top of it with like a white pen or something. So those are my tips. And I'm going to show you the best I can. Cause I imagine this looks like watercolor paper. And so I don't have her actual project on watercolor paper. So I couldn't actually try stuff on the watercolor paper. But let me show you this miracle right here. And again, if you don't have an iPad, just watch and see what can happen with an iPad. Because honestly, if you did that much work and you couldn't fix it, the least you could do is take a picture of it and have someone help you that has an iPad, because see how I still made it. I mean, her artwork is still beautiful. I still have it here. I fixed it. You can't even tell that there was a mistake, but that's because of the iPad. So here we go. I took a picture of her work. Okay. Or she took a picture, actually. She took a picture and she posted it. Hello, Eileen. When she posted it, I took that picture and it looks so good. I'm still just so shocked at how pretty it printed out and everything. And that was just a picture. So if you don't have an iPad, please listen. This still pertains to you because your artwork will print out beautifully and then you can use it digitally if you can fix it. Okay. So here's the first thing I did. I uploaded the picture. It's really easy to do. You just add a photo. Okay. You just go here, insert a photo. That's what I did. I pulled up the picture and then it came in here. And then I started looking, how can I fix this? How can I fix this? And whether you're doing it on iPad or on paper, it's the same solution. It's just easier to do on here. And it won't look like you doctored it up as much on here. Okay. And so what I'm going to do is first I'm going to duplicate because I want to have two of these. Oops, that's not the right one. I want to have two of these in case there's a backup. I want a backup plan just in case I mess this one up because I'm actually going to be coloring right on top of this, on this layer. Okay. So if you are an iPad person, normally I would do it on top on a different layer, but no, we want to do it on this layer because we want to blend. And so what I want to do, oh, I got to go to the wrong one. Hold on. There it is. Okay. So here's the one. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the colors surrounding the N. My goal right now is to take off that N. Well, let me just show you. My thought is make this into an N, right? And get rid of that. Because I can use that line that she has there. And I can use that line. And I'm just going to add, actually, you can just combine that all to be one letter and then get rid of this and get rid of that. Does that make sense? Okay, that's the goal. So I'm going to go here. Now, I'm going to put my finger on this blue because that's the color of the background. I want this to go back to the background, okay? And then I'm using the dry ink brush right now. And I'm just going to color. See how I'm coloring this? I'm trying to make this look like the background. You see that? Now, it's not perfect. It's not perfect at all. But I will continue to color, and then I'll use my blending tool. Now, when I get down here, see how the color kind of changes? I'm going to put my finger on that color, and then I'm going to start coloring over it with this color. And this lighter color down here. I'm trying to remember what I'm getting rid of. I'm getting rid of all of this over here. See how pretty, how good that matches? This is pretty white over here, but it's not white, and it's not true white. That's why I put my finger on it to match the color. And I'm going to put my finger over here to match this color. And I'm just trying to get rid of this. So I'm just painting over it. It's just like if you were to paint over it. If you had real paints. So that is an option you could do. Now, it doesn't look great right now, but when you start blending it, it looks so much better. So let me go ahead and do this. Okay, so look at it right here. It's already so much better. When you're using real paper, it's very hard to achieve this kind of look. All right, now I'm going to take my blending tool, this little tool right here, and then I'm just going to kind of blend it so it blends out. So it looks like you see how it's blending? Watch. See how this is blending together? It's becoming part of the canvas where they're not like this dark color, light color, you know. I want it to all be kind of mixed together. So I didn't catch if this was the right Kathy on here. Watching. Okay, so here we go. Now, much better already, right? Because it looks like it looks like there was nothing there. I think it was really good. So when I got to this point, I started thinking, well, what am I going to do? This is really like kind of too far over. Could I draw something in here? Absolutely. But you don't have to if you have the iPad. You can move that over and I'll show you that in a minute. So here we are. Let's work on our N. Again, I'm just going to take my pencil and do this to get rid of that. And I might as well get rid of this because I'll show you what I did to fix it. That's not the right color. What did I do? Okay, we'll blend it some more. So I'm kind of doing this quickly now, but you get the idea. And this blend, I want to blend this. Oops. If you blend it and catch some of the black, it's going to drag the black with it. So try not to do that. Okay, now I'm going to go ahead and fix that black line right there. So I'm going to put my finger on here and get this gold color, and I'm just going to do that. Look, y'all, look, it's just amazing. Okay, now I'm going to make a line for the N. And what I could do is add a layer on top because I want to make sure that that I like it. Okay. So I want it to be, this looks like black, but it's not a true black because it's like watercolor, or it's and that's too thick. I want to play with my line. I'm still using the same brush. See how good that looks? It looks really close. You can soften that out too. And then I'm going to grab this color, the gold. She had metallic gold. I'm going to pull it over here. What do y'all think? Do you think it's a good match? Now, it's so hard to achieve that look, y'all, on paper, but I'm going to show you the best I can in just a second. Now, the other thing that I wanted to do is I wanted to move that and over. Felt like it would be better than trying to put a little tree there or something. Although, if I was doing it on paper, I might have to do that. I know, Donna, it's amazing. Okay, so here, now I want to move this. So I'm going to go down to, I have to be on the actual picture. And I'm going to use this little S tool, and it's going to cut it, and and I can move it. It's not the perfect situation, but I'll show you. And when I move it, it's going to move the whole thing, the background and everything. So I have to keep that in mind. But look, that's pretty good. That looks pretty good. And it's still her writing, right? I love that. Okay. And now I'm going to blend this out. And actually, I think I must have done some No. Okay, let me show you. There's no background color. If I had a background color, it would peek through. So that's showing me that there was nothing there. So I definitely need to, let me make it white. So I'm just pretending like this was, when it moved it over, it's cutting the whole thing and move it over. So you got to make it look like the watercolor paper again. So I'm going to do the same thing I did earlier. And I'm going to use that dry ink brush. I want to make sure I have the right color. To get the right color, you just put your finger on here. And then I'm just going to start coloring this and doing the same thing I did earlier. You could take your time. I'm just kind of going quickly so you don't have to watch me do the whole thing, but it is just, I mean, y'all, come on. This is so amazing. I was so proud. I was like, okay, if you don't have, Kathy, if you don't have an iPad and you can't doctor yours up, or even if you do, you know what? I really enjoy fixing stuff, Linda. That's so sweet. If y'all, if y'all want me to try to, I can't probably always promise it'll turn out great, but I'm really, really excited about this one. And I hope she is too. Okay. So there's that. Now, what if we couldn't achieve that look? Well, then my other solution is let's go. I love your comments. Okay. Let's start over and let's pretend like, now here's her original. Nope, that's not original. There's her, no, I already adjusted the, hold on. Did I get rid of it? There it is. Okay. Here's the original. So what I would do on paper probably is I would probably cover up that whole thing. Well, I'll just show you on paper now. So let me show you what I would do. Again, it's not watercolor paper, so it's not the same idea, but you always cut and paste and then blended out the original word. Yeah, and so I was surprised that I could save that. Okay. If you're, depending on what you're working with, I showed this the other day, but this is a sand eraser. Okay. A sand eraser, basically what it does is it takes off the top layer of the paper. So this may work for watercolor. It's probably not going to work for this, but I'm just pretending. Okay. Pretend like you were, well, I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what happens. Let me zoom in so y'all can see better. Okay, sand eraser. This is copy paper, y'all. So this is probably going to tear a big hole in it in just a second, but I wanted to just kind of show you. So you would delicately try to sand and get that, remove it the best you can, okay? If you could get down to that base layer, it would be amazing, right? But again, I would first start with, okay, can I fix this without having to cover up the whole thing with black? Some of you have seen me do that before. Oh, look, this is actually not doing bad. Sand eraser by Mono by Tombow. Okay, now I would probably erase this whole thing, wouldn't I? I don't know if I can do it. Yeah. Okay, I'm going to get a white, and y'all can chime in too. You might be like, wait, I have an idea. Great. Tell us about it. I'm going to get a white paint pen. Whoa. Be careful. And just kind of dot this out. Just these two, because if I can take advantage of the lines that are already there, I'm going to be that much better off. Look, that's not bad, y'all. That's not bad. I mean, you've worked so hard. You know, you've worked so hard on it. Okay, let me let this dry for a second. Uh-oh. Sorry. Again, y'all, this is just copy paper, so. Okay. Now, take your black pen that you used and then go back over it. This is what I would do anyway. That's not bad. Okay. Now, if this just was so messed up, you could not fix it. So look at it. I think that looks really good. And you could go back over that with the blue, maybe. But just know, if you couldn't fix that, my other solution would be to color the whole thing black, paint it with something, and then go right on top of it with white. And I'm going to show you that with the iPad, just so I don't paint all over this. But I've shown y'all how, well, some of you that have seen it before in the membership, I've shown that before because I've done that many times. Y'all, I have done that many times. If I could find my example, I don't know if I could find it quickly, but there's a great example in here of one. Oh, I do it all the time. Here's one. See, one of these was spelled wrong, probably guard. And then I decided, okay, to kind of balance it out. And I actually think it gives it more character. Sometimes it makes it better. I was thinking there's one more. I'm sure there's a lot more than one more, but one more that I used as an example, and I think it was black. I'll have to look for it. It's probably in my other book now that I'm looking in this one. Does anybody remember that? Who was in the tribe before? Well. Hold on, I'm almost through it now. Wow, I've spelled a lot of words right. This is amazing. But that is what I would do. Go back through And this one I happen to do white. For yours, I would probably do black. I don't know. You could do white. You could do the whole thing white. I don't know. It may not cover as well. And again, I don't know what it's going to do on watercolor paper, but let me just show you on the iPad. Because it's fast and easy and not messy. And you still get the same result. So imagine that you have to cover up heaven. There's nothing you can do to fix it. And then you're going to add a layer on top of it. Now, because I'm thinking of what I would use. If I were using, what I would use is gouache. Gouache would probably cover that up pretty good. But you could use acrylic paint. Who says you can't use acrylic paint? Not me. Now, if you're on the iPad, you could kind of pick one of these lighter colors that's not so dark, not so black. And all I do is just make a box. Remember, this is on top of that. Make a box. And you have to cover up all of our letters. Make sure that you know, the box covers them all. And then I would drop the color, drop that in there. And I like this brush because it's kind of rough, got rough edges. So that's what I would do. Now that looks funny just right there. So then I would pick maybe two other words, one or two. Oh, a darker green would be beautiful too. Yes, whatever color. And then I would probably pick maybe this one. I'm just thinking about where it is on the page and how big the block would be. And I feel like this would be a good spot. And then maybe even help. So I've got those two. And the cool thing about this, if you are on the iPad, is you could change it easily to a dark green. Somebody said they'd use a dark green. And you know, the reason I'm saying black is because if you're, well, you can cover it if you have acrylic paint. You could cover it with probably a lot of colors. But just think it's got to cover it, okay? And then we can do help. Let's do help too and just see. All right. And then all I did is I made a layer on top of this. So imagine if you were doing this on paper, you painted acrylic paint over it, you know, or you had a marker, whatever you did to cover that up. It's very iffy to do it on real paper, but it can be done. I've done it many times. Okay. And then what was this? Hills. This was hills. So on top of this, I would use not a stark white because she doesn't have like white on here. I would use something that's softer, a little bit off white if I'm on the iPad. But you don't have as many options if you are using your, now my lettering's not going to be as good as hers is or anything right now. I'm just kind of breezing through here real quick to give y'all an example. And then I'm going to pick up this gold, the metallic gold, and also tie it in using her gold. And this is maybe a little thicker than, you know, she would like it, but it's just to give an example of what you can do. Okay. What is the, is this help? What word was that? Yes. Okay. Now we're going to go to that off-white color I used, which I don't see it. So maybe it was, I don't know. Okay. Help. Again, I would take my time and all that, but you get the picture. And I think she did some gold here too. I'm going to pick another one of the gold colors because I think that gold is a little too yellow. I picked it from over there, but it does blend with that. But over here, I'm going to do it a little bit darker. It might be good to like make the brush not so thick for this one. But y'all, I'm so excited that her artwork is saved. It's saved. And this was heaven. This was our problem child. Okay, let's see if I can spell it right. Because y'all, it is hard when you're lettering and you can't see straight anymore after you've written all those. all the other letters. And if you are using the iPad, look how easy you can, if you need to move over something, you can move it over. I would have done that on its own layer. Okay, and then I'm going to pick up some of this gold because it's down here and it's going to coordinate with this better. And I'm going to make this smaller just so you can see what I mean. About it not having to be so thick. So this is why I love both paper and the iPad, because they work together. But again, don't give up on a piece of artwork. The first thing you do when you make a mistake, the very first thing you do, what do? Tell me in the comments. Before you do anything else, before you try to fix it, what do you do? Take a picture. Take a picture, because from there, then if you mess up your original, you've got that picture. Okay. Yeah. Sit back and look too. Cry. Cry, sit back and look at all the things. Yes, but I want you to take a picture first, because there's a great chance, yes, walk away and come back, that you can fix it, right? And don't panic. Don't panic. So let's look at what we did on the iPad again. So here's how we fixed it. I'll show you. I'll take those off. We just put those blocks there. And then I don't even know what size the original was. Kathy, if you're here, tell us what the original size is. I just made them into scripture cards because I thought they were so cute. And I thought, okay, that way she'll have several. But look, can you even tell? I'm so excited. And then the one with the black, there's the one with the black. Which way do y'all like it better fixed? I didn't do the help one on that one, but either way, I think you've saved your artwork. I know. Yay! So you can take your misspelled word and you can fix it. You can fix it. Oh, you like the black box. Awesome. I mean, it does add character. And I think I like the help, probably doing the help one too there. But I think it adds character to it. I do the highlighted work. Black. Yay! Okay, I want to show y'all something else before we go. Any questions about this? Don't panic. Don't panic. If something like this happens to you and you want Christy to try to fix it, I don't know why I'm talking in third person. If you want me to try, I am happy to, because that is fun to me. Because I know what it feels like. It feels like, oh, it's horrible. Okay, y'all. So your assignment for this week, we are doing The Lord is My Shepherd. And what I did is I hand lettered it for you if you want to trace it. But I want to encourage you to do it on your own and practice your own lettering. But if you're brand new at lettering and you're like, I feel like a failure already, then I want you to trace mine. Okay, so I'm going to be putting this in the group. I write big, y'all. If you don't write big, you could probably write this all on one page, and I wrote it so big. I gave you a blank page so you can practice on your own. And then I gave you some crosses, because crosses are always fun, around this time of year with Easter and all that. But thought you could play around with this. So what I would do, if you don't have tracing paper, I would grab some. Let me get a piece. I'm going to show you. What did I do with mine? It's usually right here. Well, y'all know I never can find anything, but it's right here. It's always right here. I promise. See? Right here. Right here. Okay. I love this. I used to say any tracing paper was okay. Now I don't because I started using this, and it's a vellum. I do have it in my shop. If you just want to try it, you can try like 10 pieces or something. I probably have the vellum bigger pack marked in our shop somewhere, in the Amazon store. All right, let me show you what I would do if I were you. It's that time of year with that little, hold on. The lighting comes through my house weird. Okay. Now I love, when I practice this, I love using a Pentel brush pen. So that's what I'm going to demonstrate with. So you're just going to, it's always good to angle your paper. Now, if you're left-handed, you're going to angle it, far, however it works for you to try to not smear, right? And right-handed, I angle mine to the left. That's what I learned in school. If you sit up straight, it makes you, yes, you've got homework. You got homework. So I'm going to press down hard, and then I'm going to lift up. That's how I get that light stroke. I'm going to press down hard here for the thick stroke. Yes, this is for you to practice your lettering. Heavy down, light up. What I would love for you to do actually is I would love for you to be thinking of someone in your family that you could leave this behind. When they look through your things, they would be like, wow, she loved her scripture. And look how I've got her handwriting. If you end up making it your own. Don't be trying to pass off my handwriting as your handwriting. I'm just kidding. This isn't my handwriting, by the way. This is my lettering. My handwriting is not pretty at all. Heavy down, light up, heavy down, light up, and so on. Okay? So you get that. Now, you can also use this paper. I know that looks like a lot. It's intimidating because it looks like a whole lot, but it's so good for you to practice because that's how you get better. That is how I have been doing this for, 7 years, and that's the only way I've gotten better is just practice, practice. So let's pretend like you're going to write your own. Just use this paper. You don't have to use tracing paper, but it is nice. If you don't have any, you might try it. The Lord is, and I would love to see what yours turns out like. You can post a picture to show us. And make sure you spell shepherd right, because that is a word that gets misspelled a lot. You know how to spell it? And look how I stop between a stroke and make a new stroke. Who said eek homework? I want to know who that is. Shepherd. The Lord is my shepherd. And as you're writing this, you're saying it. And as you're saying it, you're living it. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. And you're going to memorize it. A lot of you may know it, maybe from childhood. Maybe you've never even read through the whole thing. It's such a beautiful verse. I was doing a devotional the other day, and this was this was in it. And it was just talking about doing your quiet time and just stopping and being still. And it's just such a beautiful scripture. I shall not want. I'll do it a little bit more with you. I shall. But that's how you're going to get better. You got to have the right tools too, though. Now, what if you don't have a nice Pentel marker like this? You can use Crayola markers. Have y'all ever done that? Crayola markers, you can make them look like they're a brush pen because they have a tip, and then a wide side. So let's say you wanted to use it, then as you go up, you use the point. As you go down, you do the side of it. Did you see how I kind of manipulated it's a totally different look, but it works. I shall not want. It's harder because it's so thick. But it's good practice, still good. They do have different sizes. So if you don't get the broad one, you could probably do the same thing with the slimmer version. What do you think? Are y'all excited about doing homework? You're going to get so much better, so much better. All right. So I'm going to put this in, when I get off of here, I'm just going to make sure that I tried to print it out lighter. I try to make it lighter so you can write on top of it and still see it really good if you're writing with black. Does that make sense? And so one of them didn't print very well, so I just have to make sure. But what you're going to get is 4 pages. You're going to get the Lord is my shepherd is the first 2 pages. And you're going to practice it and practice it. You're going to say it out loud and all the things. And you're going to get a practice sheet. And so you could print this out like 2 or 3 times if you have a printer, or you can put it on your iPad and save it for whatever you're going to use it for. And then some fun crosses to play with. You're excited? Good, 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 April. Okay, so then next week we're going to take the Lord is my shepherd, and that will be our, not the whole thing. We're going to do our scripture art next week will be the Lord is my shepherd. Okay, we'll take the first part of this, but I thought this week you could practice this whole, the Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He makes me lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in the path of righteousness for his name's sake. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You anoint my head with oil. My cup overflows. Surely goodness and mercy shall follow me all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Psalm 23. I want to memorize it. I don't know it by heart. I know it. I know it when people are saying it. I can kind of finish some of it, but I can't say it by heart. That's what I want to do. And I want you to do that too if you don't already know. This is the ESV. So if you want a different version, do a different version. But once you practice it, I would love for y'all to post it in here. I would love to see your lettering, your own lettering, or if you trace it, because again, you're learning. That's building muscle memory. That's why I wrote it for you, because it's building muscle memory. Okay? Questions? Questions? And then you can always add some little crosses around it if you want to decorate it and make it cute. But again, what I was saying earlier is if you write it thinking of this is special to me, and I want to leave it where someone finds it when you're gone. And maybe that's in a Bible or somewhere, but I think that means a lot. And it tells people so much about who you are when they see what's important in your life. So, all right, y'all. I had so much fun with this. Thanks for watching. I hope you were inspired today, and I will see y'all next week. Bye.